I spent 2 Christmases in Afghanistan.
We broke a pallet apart and we started building a Christmas tree.
My husband, he did miss the birth of our second daughter.
My son's first Thanksgiving, I was away from him.
I was an Army Ranger. I was in 375, 3rd Ranger Battalion. Being in the military is one of those jobs that doesn't really stop. Whatever day it is, it doesn't matter. You got to do the work. I'm not a very sentimental person. I don't really care about a ton of holidays, but when I was overseas, I felt pretty much the same way all the way up to Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day, I really felt a little bit more homesick than I would usually feel.
My first deployment, which was to Iraq, I missed a lot of things that were somewhat important to me, obviously like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's and all that stuff, my birthday. It was right after Christmas, our chief came by and he's like, hey guys, later today, I just need everybody here at this time. We're gonna go do something. So, all right, cool, whatever. I think it was like an Air Force hangar. We're waiting there in the hangar for probably like 2 hours. We're hungry, we haven't eaten dinner. Like a few moments later, Donald Trump and the First Lady walk in. He starts addressing us and he gives, a speech and whatnot. He thanks us for what we're doing. I think it really boosted morale.
I was stationed on USS Nimitz, CVN 68. I have 2 kids. My son's first Thanksgiving, I was away from him. It humbles you as a person, being away from family at an extremely young age. I was 20 years old at the time, and those were extremely rough to get through, but the camaraderie that I had made me feel like home. It was a home away from home. The military loves the holidays, so they do make it as family oriented as possible with one another.
When I had 2 Christmases in Afghanistan, it had a pretty profound impact on me. It's just simple stuff. Making a dumb snowman outside. You make the best of it. You're with your friends, right? Another thing that people forget about with Christmas is that everybody wants to have like good experiences with their families. The holidays give those good experiences a name and they give them context.
I served in the United States Marine Corps. My husband is United States Air Force, Security Forces. I missed my first Thanksgiving and Christmas with him because he was gone. When our second daughter was born in 2014, he was deployed. So he did miss the birth of our second daughter. Coming home, we met him at the airport. The oldest one, who was around 2.5 at the time, just couldn't believe that it was her dad because she didn't understand what was going on. But as far as our little one, she was 5 months old and he had never held her before.
What you actually wind up doing on Christmas is like totally random on a deployment, whatever's within grasp. It really depends on where you're deployed and what you're doing. You might just be working all day. We had one guy build a giant snowman, and then another friend of mine built a giant, snow penis, because it's a bunch of 20-something-year-old Rangers trying to figure out how to do Christmas on their own. People they just have fun. They just make do.
We wanted to try to make it somewhat feel like home. We broke a pallet apart and we spray painted it with some spray paint that we had, and then we got some like 50 cal ammo cans and like some mortar cans. Same thing, we sprayed painted them and put some tags on it, make it look like Christmas presents. And that was very funny. I think it was just a dumb thing we did, but it brought a lot of smiles, not only to us, but I think everyone else.
The importance of what you're there to do outshines kind of your feelings about what time of year it is.
Halfway through deployment, you start feeling things. And you see people posting stuff about back home and Christmas gifts, and it starts hitting you a little bit harder, at least for me it did. I took pride in what I did. So I understood that I had to put my selfishness aside and my pride and recognize that me being there made a difference.
We volunteered for a reason to, make sacrifices. Remember the reason why you volunteered and raise your right hand.
I just try to remember what those core things that really bring people there to the first place. Being together, being in a positive environment, this sort of spirit of giving, an excuse to just be nice to each other.